You gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
So it's lovely to see you today on Summer Solstice, Midsummer, and longest day of the year, International Yoga Day. So much going on, so much to celebrate, but we're going to have a nice heart-centered gratitude, really, gratitude and abundance practice. More about the upper body, opening the chest, coming into the shoulders and the upper back. So we're going to start in supported fish, lying down on our backs. And you can use a bolster or you can use blocks, whichever is the most comfortable for you. I'm actually going with blocks today. And you choose what you need to do with your legs there, whether they're going to go into butterfly or into constructive rest, or legs might be long. But just allow, when you've kind of maneuvered yourself onto your prop, whether that's the comfy bolster and you can kind of melt and sink into it, or you position yourself comfortably on those blocks so that no corners are digging in, really kind of open up the throat, the collarbones, the chest, let the shoulders relax down by the side of you, let the elbows soften to the edges of the mat, and just flip the palms up towards the sky. And then start to become more connected into this morning, letting go of your morning so far as you have woken up and you have made it to your mat at 9 a.m. And start to connect into yourself on your sacred space. You know, why do we come to our yoga mats? What does yoga provide us? What benefits do we want to receive each and every time we come to practice? And all of those questions and answers are individual and unique, just as we are, each one of us. We come to the mat for different reasons. We want different benefits, different experiences. And we want to go away feeling differently to when we arrived. So start to find the steadiness of your breathing rhythm, the breath in and the breath out through the nostrils, noticing the temperature as it comes in. Noticing the release, the letting go as you empty the breath. Drawing in all of that wonderful universal energy that we are so connected to, particularly at this time of the year, peak summer. You know, where the sun is at its highest, the longest day of the year, certainly for the northern hemisphere anyway. And the fact that we can celebrate the sun, the solar energy that gives us life, that gives nature, animals, plants, life. It's summer solstice weekends, a time of peak solar energy, abundance, joy, and inner illumination. It's the lightest and the brightest time of the year. Therefore, a wonderful time to harness this magical energy and make the most of this golden goodness throughout the weekend. And as we work with the upper body, more of a heart-centered, compassionate, kind practice to ourselves today. I want to invite joy, happiness, release, letting go, anything that we don't need to hold on to. Welcome, embrace, and manage our own emotions, physical state, our mindful state. And with each inhale breath, feel that energy traveling each and every part of the body, to the little toes, to the little fingers, to the crown of the head. And the exhale releases, lets go. Tightness and tension just falling away. So with all of those words in mind, inviting your own intention for practice, your own sankalpa. What do you need most today? Why are you here? What benefits do you need to receive? What do you wish to welcome? What do you wish to, give away? Drawing that into the mind's eye, into the heart center, head to heart connection. Begin to wiggle the fingers, bring some movement back into the hands, circle out gently through the wrists, just resting on the elbows there, one way and the other. And then if you had butterfly legs, maybe use the hands to lift the legs together, placing the soles of the feet down onto the floor, bent knees. And just bring the elbows underneath the shoulders, planting the forearms, planting the hands, lifting up the head and the neck and looking along the body towards the knees. Keep opening up across the top of the chest here and gently press up and take those blocks away. And we're going to come straight up to seated. And whatever your seated posture is, cross-legged, butterfly, legs out in front. Sit nice and tall and just notice how that feels now that we've come up to seated, taking away those props from our back. And start to feel grounded to the earth. So letting the sit bones drop down towards the ground. And we feel this lengthening through the spine all the way to the crown of the head, rising to the sky. And then just lifting up the arms, bringing them up towards above the head. Maybe the palms meet, maybe they stay apart. Reaching up just a little bit more. Maybe the gaze goes to the heels of the hands. Feel the stretch down the sides of the body, the front and the back. And then as you exhale, let those hands just come into prayer. Bringing them down through the center line of the body, passing the crown, the third eye, the throat, and just settling at the heart center. Drawing in once more to this connection to solar magical energy. Take a breath in, long, slow breath out. And then release the hands, drop the chin to the chest, just release through the neck. Feel that stretch going down through the upper back, maybe down through the middle back. Keep the shoulders dropping down towards the hips. It's just the weight of the head that drops the neck forward. Breathe in, lift the head up, lengthen the neck. Try not to let the head drop back. Use the muscles of the neck to support you. Gaze goes to the sky. And if you're outside, this might be nice. You take a look at the sky, the clouds, if there are any. If you're indoors, you can visualize those. Lifting the gaze to sunlight. Breathe in, come back into center. Drop the ear to one shoulder, doesn't matter which. Feel the stretch down the neck. Feel the weight of the head relaxing. Breathe in, come back into center. Again, dropping ear to shoulder, letting the opposite shoulder drop a little bit more. And breathing in, come back into center, turning the gaze to look over one shoulder. So keeping that space between the chin and the collarbones. And again, this opposite shoulder doesn't roll in. We're keeping the chest nice and open. Breathing in, come back into center, exhaling, turning to look towards the other shoulder. And again, just keeping this openness across the chest. Notice where those, might pull down the shoulder blades into the back. And then bring back into center. Lift the knees with the hands, bring the legs out in front of you. And you might be facing your mat at this point or the side. Drop the belly, the chest over, give yourself a big hug here. So gently taking that into a forward fold, a flexion. Navel pulls gently into the spine, shoulders relax, head becomes heavier. Roll up through the spine, the hands come back behind you. You can keep the knees bent or you can extend the legs out in front of you. Just a little back bend here. So again, we're opening across the chest, drawing those elbows in towards one another. Shoulders keep away from those ears and the gaze goes to the sky. So we're already starting to work through the upper body, the chest, shoulders. Again, finding that breath in that back extension. Beautiful. Try not to let the head drop back too much, but keep the neck muscles supporting the weight of that head. And then bring back into center. Take the legs into butterfly this time, so soles of the feet come together. I'll turn to face you, that's okay. You can lift up left or right arm, sweep it over to the side. Just find that nice side body stretch. And then open up into a half cactus here. So you're going to push back through the hand, back through the elbow, back through the shoulder. And just notice what happens here to get this movement. Does this knee lift up? Try and draw that opposite knee or same knee as the arm down. And then we're going to fold in. And we're going to maybe tap the hand to the floor as the head comes towards the knee. So let's open that up 3 times. Inhale to lift. Exhale, folding, tapping the floor with that palm of the hand. Head comes to the knee. Open up. And release to the floor on the exhale. Navel pulls gently back into the spine. Opening up once more. And exhaling, releasing. Open up once more and then come back into that side bend. Oh, that felt good. And bring it back into the center. Nice. Lifting up opposite arm. So it's a straight lateral flexion first of all. So shoulders stacked over the hips, reaching that upper arm away, drawing down that same knee. And then we turn that into the half cactus arm and we start to open up that shoulder, that chest to the sky. We find the breath there. Keep drawing those knees to the floor. And then on the next exhale, just start to fold in. Chest comes down, hand might tap the floor, head might come to knee, pulling navel gently back to spine. And then opening up. Nice, good. Exhale, fold. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Inhale, open. And the last time, exhale, fold. And inhale, open. And then that reverts back into that lateral flexion. Nice reach over. Oh, beautiful. Bring yourselves back. Let's draw those knees in towards one another. Swing them around behind us. Come into our tabletop position. Planting hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Find a nice neutral spine here. So gently lifting up the navel, lengthening the spine, rounding across the shoulders. Crown of the head reaches forward. Pushing away from the mat through the palms, the heels of the hands, and the tops of the feet and the shins. Start to come into your cat and cow with focus on the upper body. So think about those thoracic vertebrae moving and into the neck as you come into your cow on your inhale and your cat rounding on the exhale. Slow and steady, moving with the breath. Focusing on head, neck, shoulders, chest, upper back, middle back, rib cage, diaphragm. And nice and slowly, we're going to pull back into our child's pose from here. So maybe the knees go wide, maybe they stay parallel, and dropping hips back towards the heels, reaching arms forward or underneath the head, and just exhale fully to the ground here. And this is an honoring great gratitude practice, heart-centered towards ourselves, but also towards nature and the universe. So as much as we're thanking solar energy and the sun for light, warmth, we are thanking the earth for all it provides. And as you breathe here, breathe through the back body. So the back of the heart space. Expansion of the rib cage, front, back, and sides. Nice and slowly bring the hands back underneath the shoulders so you can press up through the floor, rounding out through the spine as you gently roll up, staying in your tadpole pose, so knees go wide of your mat, toes come together, the heels are nicely tucked under the butt cheeks. And we're going to wrap our arms around us ourselves, giving us a big hug. So wrapping the right arm on top, maybe you can reach around to the back and grab the scapula there. If not, that's okay. You just grab as much as the arms allow. We lift the elbows up, and then we kind of contract into the abdominals, drawing the elbows downwards towards the floor, letting the head soften into the creases of the elbows. Sorry if my mic's getting a little crushed there. Let me not talk. So navel pulls in, rounding out, pulling those elbows to the floor, but keeping those fingers wrapping around the shoulder blades. Dropping shoulders from ears. Nice and slowly we breathe in. We lift the elbows up towards the sky. Pull the shoulder blades together here. Gaze reaches up. And unravel, and we push those backs of the hands behind us, so we're opening out the chest here. So we've moved from, again, a flexion into an extension. Drop the shoulders from the ears. We're pushing the chest forward, arching through the lower spine. And then that wrap comes in, left arm on top this time, elbows on top of one another, wrap around the scapula, and then contract in the navel, round the spine. Dropping chin to chest, down towards the creases of the elbows. Elbows draw to floor. And then inhale, we lift. The back changes into an arch, into an extension. We keep lifting the elbows nice and high. And then from there, we start to pull the shoulder blades together as we unravel and uncurl the arms and push the backs of the hands behind us. Nice, good. So again, keep the neck nice and long. Keep using the neck muscles to keep the weight of the head lifted. Try not to let the head go back. And bring it back. Oh, that was an amazing morning stretch. Let's slide forward into melting heart pose. So hands come forward, hips stay up high above the knees, dropping the chest towards the floor. Maybe you rest on the chin, maybe you rest on the forehead, or a block, or a cushion. So let the breath guide you here, because this is really a gravity-led posture, because you feel heaviness through the upper and middle back. Breathe into the tight areas. We're going to slide forward onto our forearms, coming into a kneeling plank, kneeling forearm plank. So navel lifts up, elbows nicely tucked underneath the shoulders. From here, you can stay, of course, or you might wish to tuck the toes, a little bit of strength work, and come into your forearm plank. So keeping nice and low to the ground, parallel to the floor, crown of the head reaches forward, shoulders pull back from ears, in line with hips, in line with heels. Try not to let the hips drop too much or go too high. And from here, we're going to simply lower the pubic bone, keeping the arms where they are if it feels good for the back, keeping the toes tucked. You're going to come into a tucked-toed sphinx. It's a little bit deeper. So the toes are tucked, pushing down through the toe beds, dropping into your sphinx pose. If it feels a little bit more uncomfortable than a regular sphinx, release to the tops of the feet. Opening heart space to the front of your mat. As if someone was holding and rolling your shoulders back. And then release to the tops of the feet. First of all, right and left. Keep the sphinx pose. Maybe you get a little bit of extra lift there. Drop the hips and the pubic bone. And then widen the elbows. Roll this down all the way to the floor. Big toes touch and release out. Give those hips a little shake out. Release everything through the legs. Activation, let's go. Particularly glutes, outer hip muscles. And then let's bring the hands out to the top corners of our mat. We can widen our feet if we like as well. So you can take your feet to the outer edges. Try and keep all 10 toes touching the floor, trying not to let the heels roll inwards. We're going to come up into our dancing seals. So pushing up through the hands, trying to straighten out the arms, and then we move the rib cage to the right, to the center, to the left, and to the center. And throughout these movements, you might use the head and the neck to look back towards the heels. Again, keeping those little toes pulling down to the floor. So spacing out the pelvis, not letting that internal rotation of the hips and the thighs happen. So here we have to have a little bit of core engagement to make those seal lifts, really getting all into the rib cage and the spine. And then reversing that rotation, going the other way. Really trying to get the rib cage to each side of the mat. Breath in as you lift, breath out as you lower. And then we come back into the center. We press up into seal. We stay and hold. Again, doesn't have to be too high, but we're aiming to get nice straight arms, dropping pubic bone. Try and press the floor away so that the chest lifts a little bit more here. That's it. We're dropping through the belly. And yes, that's it. Nice, lovely. Release into that lower back. Doesn't have to come too high. It can be nice and low here. Everybody's back flexibility is all very different. Again, uniqueness of each and every body. A few more breaths. Keep pressing away from the floor through the heels of the hands. Strong, straight arms, opening the chest. And exhale. Bring this down nice and slowly. Navel, diaphragm, rib cage. Turn to the cheek. Bring the hands back behind you. Palms face up. And let the shoulders rest. So fully relax here. Give the hips a little shake out. Left and right. And bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Press back into tabletop. And then from our tabletop, you might like to just introduce a couple of rounds of cat and cow. Go easy into that flexion because we've just done a number of back bends. So we're going to go into some side stretches from here. We're going to bring the legs, spin and bring. That one was spring. Spin and bring the legs around. You can sit sideways on. So if you now need a block, that's where that might come in, on the inside or the outside of your left leg. So sit tall on the sit bones, shoulders above the hips. You can point or flex or relax the feet. I really don't mind, your choice. But we're going to start to lift up and lengthen over, using that block to rest the arm on. And again, a block has various levels. You might go to the lowest level. But it's not about getting over here and lifting up this hip and this buttock, okay? So it's like somebody, say I had this bolster wrapped over this thigh, that's extra weight. It would be a struggle for me now to start kind of lifting up, if you see what I mean. So we're going to really try and aim to keep that buttock down as we rotate the rib cage, taking that over into that lateral stretch. So just as we did when we started, we were pulling back those arms. We don't have to do that here, but we are rolling the rib cage open to the sky. Yeah, good, nice. And if you don't want to take the arm over, that's okay. You can let the arm rest down and just take the body over. And again, the head direction, you can always look down. You know, and maybe the arm comes to the floor, but not at the compensation of this hip coming up. So start to feel this side body stretch, and maybe you're feeling this in the inner groin as well. Breathe into the side body, making sure the shoulder doesn't get trapped up in there. It's not like pulling up in towards the ear, so just give it a little bit of freedom. Nice. Just a couple more breaths, then we're going to take this into a forward fold over that extended leg. And then we start to take the hand to the floor and we turn our chest towards the extended leg that we've just reached across. So we're going to try and drop down that shoulder now, exhaling. We're pulling down the back buttock. Exhale, both shoulders, both chest, both sides of the chest, I should say. Pulling navel gently back in towards the spine. Let the head relax to the knee. Notice how you feel in this posture. What sensations are coming up? Nothing has to be forced or overstretched. And then from here, we stay nice and low, but we keep the arm down either on the floor or the block. And we're going to open up back again into that lateral flexion. And there you might have found a little bit extra depth and extra stretch. Good. Press up and bring it back into center. How's that feel? Good. So taking the block over to the other side, again, either high, medium, or low level. Lifting up arm, reach it up and over. Keep pulling that back buttock downwards. And you might notice that one side, as we transition, starts to feel a little tighter. But that's okay. We're going to take our time here. So we're starting to roll the rib cage. Excuse me, up to the sky. Again, the gaze can be up, down, straight ahead. Letting gravity take us deeper. Keeping a nice long spine here. We're not dropping back through the lower back or belly. And then from here, we start to turn the chest and it starts to face that extended leg and exhaling into the fold. Notice what happens with the back leg. Does it roll inwards as we try to get deeper into that fold? Are we allowing that internal rotation? So again, as if somebody was holding your thigh in place, keep that external rotation. Relaxing head, neck, shoulders, hands can drop to the floor, navel pulls in gently. And then we keep that lowness of that fold, reaching the hand down to the floor and opening that back up again once more into that lateral dragonfly. Press through the floor, bring yourself back up. Nice. We're going to just close the legs for a second. So draw them in. Take the hands and give those a big squeeze on the outer knees. And then release. Let's take the legs wide once more. This time for a forward fold. So I'm going to show you from the side. So having a nice long spine, we're going to hinge from the hips. So we're not rounding and folding here. Very, very different. Maybe take the hands onto the belly and the sacrum or the hips, and you simply try and hinge forward with a nice open chest and a flat back. So take the fold. See where you start to feel that. Draw navel in. Reach the sit bones back behind you. Open the chest. Good. Only go as deep as your body allows, your range of motion, no one else's, certainly not mine. Finding the steadiness of the breath. And then walking hands back towards the body. And we lift those knees once more, bringing them in together, and just give yourselves a nice rounded hug out this time. Taking hold of the ankles, you can round the spine, drop shoulders from ears, let forehead to knees. Let's face the front of our mat, spin the legs around. Just a couple more before we come into some sun salutations. So right leg comes forward, We're going to move down through our lunge into our half splits. So keeping the chest nice and open here. Shoulders are relaxed, dropping the hips down. Nice. And then pull back gently, digging the heel in, exhaling into that forward fold for your half splits. So keep moving through that. Inhale, lift for lizard. Exhale, fold for half splits. Again, you can have fingertips, hands, or blocks underneath you. And we're going to drop down into lizard. And you can have your left hand on a block or the floor. We're going to gently open up that right knee. Nice little open of the chest there, dropping down through the left hip flexor. Looking back towards the back foot. And then nice and slowly bring the hands back, change legs. Right leg goes back, left leg comes forward. Again, move through this lifted chest lizard here, dropping hips. And then exhale, pulling back, making sure we don't pull back too far so the hip stays above the knee. That's it. And exhaling as you pull back into your half monkey, half splits. That could good Sanskrit Ardha Hanuman. And then coming back into that lizard, right hand plants this time either on the floor or to the block. And just opening out to the left side there. Again, it's an opening of that left rib cage, left chest, left shoulder, dropping down through the right hip flexor, right quad. Bring yourself back into the center, hand comes down, left leg meets right. We tuck the toes. We come up into our very first downward facing dog. It's taken us, half an hour to get there, but that's okay. We start to pedal out, get the feet moving. Releasing a heel at a time down to the floor. Starting to feel how the ankles, calves, back of the legs feel. Remember, we're lifting up the navel, long spine, pressing chest back towards the thighs. Strong shoulders, strong arms. And then when you're ready, releasing into that full, deep, long exhale. Finding down dog. If the hamstrings feel particularly tight, just bend into the knees. I'd rather see the chest pressing back towards the thighs than rounding out like this. If the hamstrings and the spine is tight, so bend the knees deeply. Maybe make the dog a little narrower, a little shorter. So looking forward to the front of the mat, walking forward all the way. And we're going to come straight into a Malasana squat from here. So taking the toes wide and dropping the hips down towards the floor. Maybe you move left and right just to feel those feet grounding you. This is our first kind of even standing posture, even though we're not standing. Hands come into the heart center once more. Elbows on the inner sides of those knees. Long spine, navel pulls in. Dropping sit bones downwards. Nice. And notice the difference if you're engaging or disengaging the pelvic floor. So what happens there with when you draw in the pelvic floor, draw in Mula Bandha. And when you let it go, what happens? So find what works. I quite like drawing in. Also stops the downward force of energy leaving the body, the apana vayu. Release the hands to the floor, lift the hips. And as the hips come a little higher, the legs straighten, you heel toe back into parallel. So your parallel is toes together or feet apart. Bend the knees nice and deeply, dropping belly, chest down over the thighs. Take hold of the elbows, let the head relax into a bent-legged dangle. Sway gently from side to side. Release any pressure here into the lower back. Find stillness, let the arms drop to the floor. Maybe you start to extend through the back of the legs, straightening up through the knees, trying to keep the belly, the chest close to the thighs. Finding the steadiness of the breath in the fold. Bend the knees and gently and slowly come up to stand as you would like to. Maybe that's a roll, maybe that's a flat back. You find your way to standing. When you get there, come into your mountain pose of Tadasana. Feet grounding you to the floor. Again, toes might be touching or the feet are apart and parallel. Just start to feel this connection to the earth. And let's move through our sun salutations. Hands come into the heart center. Exhale to the earth. Inhale, upward salute to the sun. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back right leg, find a low lunge. We did these earlier, so drop the back knee, lift the chest. Hands come down, take this back into your plank. Lower down, knees, chest, chin. Breathing in into the back extension of cobra. And breathing out, taking it back into downward facing dog. A couple of breaths. Everything is slow, contained, controlled, composed. Looking forward, either lifting up into three-legged dog or just simply stepping straight through. Find that low lunge once more. Dropping the back knee, lifting the heart space. Step forward to the front of the mat into the fold. We don't do a half lift on the return. We simply exhale, press through the feet, and once more lift up. Upward salute to the sun. And exhale back into the heart center, preparing for the left side. Inhale, up salute. Exhale, swan dive to the floor. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back left this time. Find your low lunge. Hands to the floor, step back, plank on your breath in. Lower down, knees, chest, chin on your breath out. Cobra. And followed by down dog. Slow and steady. Find a few breaths, really work with this down dog, physically, mentally, energetically. Looking forward, lifting up into three-legged dog or simply bringing that left leg through, dropping back knee, opening heart center. Good. And then stepping it forward, exhale into the fold, no half lift. Inhale, bring yourself up into that salute once more to the sun. And exhale back into the heart center. We're going to do 2 more rounds, right and left. I'm not going to talk too much. I'm just going to let you flow with your breath. So we inhale, salute. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, step back right. Inhale, lift. Maybe the arms come up this time into a crescent lunge. Step back, retain the breath on your plank. Lower down on your breath out. Cobra and down dog. Couple of breaths. Three-legged dog, or simply stepping forward. Right leg through. Again, dropping knee. Maybe the arms become involved. Hands come down. Exhale, fold. Inhale, salute to the sun. Exhale, hands to heart. Left side, inhale, salute. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back left, find that low lunge. Arms can always come in. Step back plank. Lower knees, chest, chin. Cobra. Exhale, down dog. Couple of breaths. Either you're three-legged or stepping straight through. Lunge. Step forward to folds. Breath out. Inhale. Salute to the sun. Hands into heart, coming to the last time. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let you move. Maybe you close the eyes. You set your own pace. Feeling everything you're doing mindfully through breath. Stay as long as you need in your down dog. Coming forward when you're ready. Moving to the second side when you're ready. Doesn't matter if you miss out a posture or a transition. Just move through those sun salutations as you remember them. Holding in down dog for a few breaths. And everything can be toned down. We don't have to put the effort in on hot days or days when we might feel a little bit lower energy. Stepping forward when you're ready. Finishing off that last Surya Namaskar Our sun salutes. Coming to Summer Solstice and just pausing, letting the breath and the heart rate settle. And today, a lot of people, do 108 sun salutations, but it's a very hot day to do that. So we're definitely not doing 108 today. Release the hands down by the body, reach the fingers to the earth, reach the crown to the sky. Feel energized through the work that you've done physically, energetically, mindfully today. And also heart-centered, compassion, kindness to yourself each and every time you come to the mat. Feel that universal energy connection between sky and earth and air between. And let's just come straight down onto our backs. So finding your way to the floor. When you get there, just draw the knees in. Exhaling, letting go. Lengthening the spine all the way to the base of the skull and to the base of the spine at the tailbone. Feel the whole entire spine connecting you to the earth. And then just opening those knees wide of the rib cage. Pull the knees down just a little bit. And again, you can keep the hands on top of the shins, elbows resting on the floor, maybe shoulders spread out. So we're just gently opening up into the inner thighs, the hips. And then start to introduce that gentle circular motion inwards or outwards, whichever you went to first. Moving the leg in the hip socket. So moving the head of the femur around that hip socket joint and circling the other way. Again, this is just lubricating the joint, noticing clicks, any cracks, any crunches, any grinding, being aware that you're not over forcing this movement. Then once you've done both sides, placing the soles of the feet wide of your mat, knees are open, arms maybe in cactus or at shoulder height, hands in line with your shoulders. Spread the shoulder blades out, drop the knees over to one side. So we're simply keeping the feet on the outer edges of the mat and turn the head to look towards your left. So knees go right, head goes left. And we're just gently letting gravity take that left leg down for now. If you wish to intensify that stretch on that left hip, left leg, you can lift your right foot, gentle flexion through the ankle, and place that right foot on top of your left knee. So that gently drops that knee down just a little bit further. You're getting a little bit deeper rotation through the spine. We're aiming to keep that left shoulder nice and planted. And then bring the head and the neck back into center first. And then release that right foot if you took it over. And then bring the knees back up. Realign the feet The knees, the hips, the spine if you need to. Knees drop over to the left, keep the feet nice and wide, and the head looks to the right. We're gently dropping down that right knee. And then if you wish to, again, intensifying is adding weight with that left foot this time over the right knee. Might feel completely different to the other side. Mine does, for sure. So notice where your target areas come. Dropping that left knee just a little bit more. And that in turn drops the right knee a little bit more, in turn giving you a deeper rotation all the way to the neck. Bring the head back into center first of all. Release that left foot. And then bring the knees back up into center. Realign. Drop the knees together. Bring the hands down onto the belly. Find that nice constructive rest pose where nothing is engaging. Toes are relaxed, ankles soft. No engagement in calf muscles. Legs, hamstrings, relax the buttocks. Let the hips and the pelvis become heavy. Then heel toe, the feet all the way into the center, bringing into parallel. And then open the knees out into your butterfly. Soles of the feet coming together. The heels don't have to come all the way into the body. Let the knees just rest out to the side. Disengage glute muscles, disengage hip flexors. Let the back naturally arch. Hands release to the belly, from the belly to the thighs. Lift the legs together. Place the soles of the feet parallel this time. Hands come down by the side of you, moving up into our bridge pose. So lifting the hips, driving the knees forward, engaging hamstrings and glutes. Lengthening the neck, keeping the gaze up towards the sky. Try not to turn the head left and right when you come into bridges or shoulder stands or certainly plows. Keep lifting hips up. If you wish to, you can interlace the fingers underneath you, which then in turn gives you that higher bridge because you are able then to roll the shoulders underneath you. Keep the sternum lifting, neck long, chin away from chest, facial expression relaxed. I can't even speak today. I certainly can't speak in bridge. Release the hands if they were interlaced. Slowly spread those shoulders apart and roll down through the shoulders, the upper back. We're scooping out the roundingness of the back and the belly so that we bring down each and every vertebra, one after the other. And finally, the sacrum and the tailbone can come down. We lengthen the legs all the way along the mat. We lift the arms above the head. Stretch the legs, stretch the arms. Big, big morning stretch. Stretch the face, open the mouth, wiggle the jaw, stretch the eyes open, the forehead. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Rotate wrists, rotate ankles, and then bring this all back into a dead bug. Send the legs high and the arms to the sky. Allow the weight of the arms to drop down into the shoulder sockets. Shoulders stay down on the floor. Let the legs drop into the hip sockets. Pelvis stays down on the floor. Again, if hamstrings feel particularly tight, bend the knees. Drop the knees down towards the chest so that you can keep the heels above the hips rather than here where we're fighting with our hip flexors. And then give the hands and the feet a shake. In turn, that shakes the arms down into the shoulders. It shakes the legs, going down into the hips and the buttocks. Shake, shake, shake. Squeeze the knees in. Release out. Rock and roll from one side to the other. Massage into the lower spine. Massage into the waists, the mid-spine. Massage into the shoulders and the upper spine. And then prepare for our final relaxation in Shavasana. So making yourself comfortable, warm if you're not already. Maybe blocks or bolsters that can come underneath the knees or underneath the head. But for now, settle in. Take a deep breath in through the nose, from the feet to the crown. Exhale through the mouth, from the crown to the feet. Find the steadiness and easy flow and the rhythm of your breath, settling you into this space now for the end posture, the final relaxation, the renewal, the rejuvenation, the rest, the reward, the reset, preparing you to go back into your day with vitality, with joy, with kindness, and all under the power of solar energy. I'll let you know when it's time to come back around. Begin to take a few deeper breaths as you bring your awareness back into your surroundings, back onto the mat, back into the body by bringing movement to the hands and to the feet. Taking time as if you were just awakening from a restful sleep, starting your day once more. Take time to stretch, draw knees in, roll, massage out, whatever you need to do to bring yourself back up into a comfortable seat. And again, whatever that is, cross-legged, butterfly, kneeling, hands into the heart center, Anjali Mudra. So just finding your way into a comfortable seat, sitting nice and tall. Again, connection to the earth, connection to the sky, and everything in between. Draw back into your own personal intention for practice, what you needed most. What did you gain? What did you notice? What did you feel? What were the sensations and experiences that you can then take away into the rest of your day ahead? And celebrating this wonderful weekend of the summer solstice, the midsummer, International Yoga Day, and cultivating joy and happiness from the beautiful warmth and bright light of the sun. Always thank yourself, your breath, your body for your practice, and I thank you all so much. Namaste. Thank you.